children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Orrett Connor.
Good afternoon, Cayman. And what's on your mind? We know that elections tomorrow, even though voting has started already, postal voting as well as mobile voting, but the big day is tomorrow, candidate elections as well as referendum questions. When we return, we will be talking to two persons who will be involved with the referendum issues as well. Don't change that dial. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. It's my pleasure to have in the studio with me this afternoon two representatives from Cruise Port Referendum Cayman. Before I introduce them, or have them introduce themselves, really, we have a limited amount of time. If you have any questions or comments in relation to the topic, we're asking you to please send them to our WhatsApp number, 925-3261, and I will then convey them to our guests. So without any further ado, I am going to ask my two guests in the studio to introduce themselves. Neither, of course, needs no introduction. As a matter of fact, it's my pleasure to have in the studio rather than having one person on the phone. I finally get him in the studio as well. So let's have our guests introduce themselves. Ms. Shirley.
Thank you, Mr. Osi. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for having us. I'm Shirley. I'm also known as Mama Rascal from years back when we got that name in Parliament. So we're very proud of that. Why not capitalize on something that you actually get in Parliament? So, yes, I'm one of the members of CPR and a very proud Caymanian. I'm in the tourist business myself. I don't want to say cruise tourism or stay over tourism, because I think tourism is what we should all focus on and and take care of, rather than focusing just on one sector or the other. But I have my own tour operating company, and I do land tours, and I'm here with my buddy over here today, because I don't like to do anything alone, really and truly.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. O.C. Good afternoon to your listening audience. Hello, Cayman. My name is Duane Ebanks. As you said, I think most people know me. I've been called a lot of worse things, so I'll just stick to Duane. Former civil servant, worked in the private sector, continue to work in tourism directly. And it's my honor indeed to join Shirley and the CPR. I'm not intimately involved with the CPR in that working with them hand in glove on the ground, but I support them because their vision and their mission for the protection of Cayman aligns certainly at my core. And so it's my honor indeed to join Shirley, and I hope to be able to speak to the Caymanian soul today about certainly why I believe a no vote to cruise infrastructure is important at this time.
Okay, and of course the final vote will take place tomorrow, where persons will go, they will go in person to the polls and vote. We've had mobile voting. Any reflections on what has transpired so far, the road that you've taken to get to this, that we have taken to get to this point?
Well, first of all, it's been a long road. This has been basically like 7 years on and off. The good people of the Cayman Islands triggered a people-initiated referendum in 2019. It started from in 2018, and it was actually triggered. We got enough signatures in 2019. And then, of course, for various different reasons, that didn't happen. And then there was COVID, and then everything has just taken a turn until recently, and this cruise pier business has raised its head again. But I would first of all like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has played a part in the CPR movement. Every single voice, every single dollar, every single cent, every single moment of your time, your encouragement and your participation. All of you that signed the petition to trigger that referendum, you should be forever very proud of yourselves.
Yes.
For standing up for the democratic process, for democracy, and for standing up for your country and wanting to have a say in what happens to your home. So take your hats off and take a bow. I'm very thankful for you and very proud of you. That was the first people-initiated referendum to ever be triggered in not just in Cayman, but in the whole of England and the UK and all of the territories. And so, yeah, take a bow.
And of course, a people's initiated referendum, the results are binding, as well. So that would have been, really significant also.
Definitely, most definitely.
Mr. Dwene?
I think the only thing I would add to what Shirley said, and that's kind of the internal avenue or road that we arrived at, how we arrived at here. But we can't exclude, which is why we're here, the external forces that drives, that has driven the Cayman Islands to come to this decision of making this decision. We've been threatened, of not having cruise ships. There's been a lot of pressure all around, and no doubt that has played, the driving force behind the referendum. The lack of information, from our government from the very beginning, the clarity or not so much clarity surrounding that decision making. You can remember a lot of the hoopla. Many of your listeners will remember a lot of the hoopla surrounding who was developing it in 2019, who was paying for it, and all those key issues. They haven't gone away. In fact, if anything else, they have magnified. So that's how we're here. And I think if I could add one more piece, it's also forcing our people to think about Cayman and where we want to be in 20 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. That's what this is about. This is about a bigger vision, and whose vision are we living? And, yeah.
Okay, we're going to take our first commercial break. Folks, when we return, we will continue the conversation with Cruise Port Referendum Cayman, Miss Shirley Roulstone, and a huge supporter, Mr. Dwene Ebanks. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Cayman, it's time to paint the town red. Join us for the PPM Final Rally, Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Compass Green, live entertainment, food, refreshments, and unity. Come one, come all. Bring the family, bring the energy, and be sure to bring the red. Don't take the wrong turn, Cayman. Let's go forward. Vote PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway, eat fresh.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, East Enders. This is Orrett Connor, your candidate for East End Member of Parliament. Tomorrow, April 30th, is Election Day, time when you will vote for the next representative for East End. I want to sincerely thank you for inviting me into your homes to listen to your concerns, pains, and struggles, and for discussing your disappointments and desire for a better future. Thanks for the opportunity to share my bold vision and initiatives with you so that East End can get the bold leadership and voice we deserve. Together we can get it done. Once elected, I will work with all of you to unite all of the people of East End, not just a selected few. Bold leadership, bold initiatives, and bold results. On April 30th, East Enders, I encourage you to go out and vote number 2, Royal Carter.
Royal Carter, loud and clear.
That was a paid political announcement.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
The following is a paid political message.
Hi, this is Roulstone, England, inviting you to my final campaign rally on Tuesday, April 29th at the Cayman Turtle Center's parking lot at 7 p.m. Come on out for an evening filled with lively endorsements, entertainment, and light refreshments. Please vote number 1, Roulstone, England, for West Bay North.
That was a paid political message.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app. or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Miss Shirley Roulstone from Cruise Port Referendum Cayman and Mr. Dwene Ebanks, very fervent supporter as well. So most people have said we don't have enough information in relation to, in particular, the cruise port question. They don't have sufficient information to make informed decisions. And at the same time, some have expressed skepticism as to what will take place, despite the fact that it is only, it is not a binding referendum. It is more seeking information from the public, but then the question marks come after that. Ms. Shirley, you care to comment on that?
The question is quite broad, and I just want to say there's not a lot of information from the government side on why we need these piers, except what a lot of people consider fear mongering. There is a lot of data, actual data from experts that are advising us not to go there. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the most important data we need right now. Or that's the most data that we have right now is something that would lead us to a no vote. If you don't have the information that you would want to say yes to, like where is this going to be? What is it going to look like? Will we build it? Will we own it? Then we can't just go on thinking and being prompted by the Pro-Port people to vote for something that we know nothing about. What we can vote no on is the data that we actually have, which a lot of people are thinking that we're at the bottom of the pit when it comes to cruise tourism right now, and it's absolutely false. Mm-hmm. The most recent data shows that we are number 6 out of 23 other Caribbean cruise countries. And that is nothing to be ashamed of. That is nothing to go, oh my gosh, we need to be in panic mode. We're dying. Our tourism is one of those things that fluctuates. I mean, from 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, we had a lot more cruise visitors than we have right now. But what we have to consider is a lot of that came from other countries being destroyed by storms or other natural disasters, and tourists couldn't go there, or the cruise lines couldn't go there for one reason or the other, so they got diverted to us. So we got shore pickings at somebody else's expense, and so those numbers were high, but we can't set our bar on those numbers. We have got to think about something that's a little bit more manageable for us on a long-term basis. We cannot continue to grow exponentially our own population and imported population the way it has been, and have a million, 1.9 million, 2.5, 4.6 million cruise visitors here at the same time. Mm-hmm. We just can't do it. What is missing in this country right now is an actual proper tourism plan. We don't know where we want to go. We have to put the horse before the cart. We have to have a plan. We have to balance somehow or another stay-over tourism with cruise tourism, but we also have to consider our welfare and our well-being. Cayman is not the Cayman that I want to keep going in the direction that it's going in, because we will have nothing left for the children coming behind us. I don't have children, but every child in this country is mine. I have a voice for them. And for all you civil servants that can't say anything or whatever, trust me, we hear you, we see you, and we're speaking for you too. And tomorrow is your chance to do what you need to do up in that little booth.
Yes. You know, I concur with everything that Shirley just said, and she speaks to my soul every time she opens her mouth about it, because it's exactly how I feel. I'll just draw the lines a little broader, OC, in terms of what it is for me. Some of that lack of information and otherwise that you speak about is part of the reasons that drives me to vote no as a individual. And it's the lack of information surrounding particularly where the dock is going for me. You know, I could tell a number of stories, but I'm going to try to make it as succinct as possible given our limited time. You know, I grew up in Northwest Point. I'm from Northwest Point. My family's house was on the seaside, so I saw the 7 Mile Beach vista my entire life growing up as a little boy. I just had to walk out on the iron shore and I could see 7 Mile Beach. I saw those cruise ships. But what was important are the little boats that used to be off of our house, which is just south of Dolphin Point, if you're familiar with Northwest Point. And I remember sitting in the backyard, you know, many years, and seeing these little boats pull up to those buoys and wondering why those people are going on the water with these tanks and what are they seeing down there. And I tell that little story because little did I know many years later, when I became a civil servant and I started out at the Department of Tourism, the then Director of Tourism, Angela Martins, made sure there were few of us that got certified. It was during the era of Mr. Thomas Jefferson, who, by the way, became certified and became a big advocate for preservations as a result of him, God bless his soul. And I became certified, and I really got, for the first time in my life, to really see where God has blessed us and our marine environment. You know, Caymanians, I want to say this to you. When you look out your doors and you're driving on the road, save Mount Trashmore, there are no mountains in Cayman. There are no natural rivers in Cayman. There's none of that kind of scenic beauty that a lot of these other Caribbean countries have. We built our tourism industry on just having a great underwater. It's why the dive, what's it called, the association, the dive... Hall of Fame? Sorry? The Hall of Fame has been established in Cayman. Cayman has some 360 plus identified dive spots around the islands. That's not in vain. That doesn't just happen. God knows what he's doing for those who are convicted in that manner. And I remember thinking for a very long time, well, what do we have, even as a little boy, even as working 12, 13 years old on a Saturday, pulling aquacycles up at the old Holiday Inn where my mother worked at the Water Sports Center there. I remember thinking, what do we have? And it was really just that on the water world. I hadn't been certified yet, but I didn't realize the impact. I just knew that we had some wave runners, that sort of thing. And then later, Stingray City came about. What am I getting at? Really and truly, the only key resources that we have as a country from a real product standpoint is that on the water world and our people. Yeah. That's what built Cayman tourism. Yes. And what's sad about it is to think that by actually, I think I heard Miss Marley use that called in the paradox of plenty, having a lot and then destroying it. What I find ironic is that the very same place or the very same thing that brought people here we're seeking to destroy. And that really bothers me. You know, we have 58 candidates that are running, for example, that we get to decide on tomorrow. How many of them put on their mast fins and snorkel and went out and even look at our downtown harbor? That's where I got certified. What was interesting was to hear a gentleman who got up in one of the meetings that Shirley and CPR had at the town hall. And it was very disappointing for me to hear him because he was actually my motivation. He was a certified diver. I know that he actually drives bus now for a tourist. And so maybe that's driving him. But it was very disappointing to hear him ask the things he asked because as a young man working on some of those boats, He was the person who I saw go down, and he was diving and that sort of thing. And what am I saying? I'm saying that Cayman, we don't have the natural resources, or they're much more limited than a lot of these other places. When we're talking about this,
we don't need to be like any place else,
and we don't. And
yeah, we need to be ourselves.
That is what we have to focus on. We do not need to be like anywhere else.
And those downtown dive spots that Shirley and a lot of them have talked about for a long time are real. We'll see, they're there. And so when we talk about, and I want to also, I guess, stop there at this point and say this: none of us here are against cruise tourism. That's not the argument.
We're in tourism.
We understand. We're in tourism, but specifically cruise tourism, we have family, we have friends who on these buses and doing these tours OC. So we understand what's at stake. That's the real fare that they're pushing out there. The truth is that we, in my case, I would hope that we would look at other spaces, and I obviously have thoughts about that. But Georgetown Harbor is not the space to destroy at this time.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, Ms. Shirley, you spoke about having the need for a strategic tourism plan, and would that tourism plan then should it one of its main objectives be to sort of create that balance that is necessary out there. So when we return, we can talk a little bit about that as well. And one of our listeners has sent us a comment. Person says that they would like to congratulate both of you. They say that there are no vote for the port, as no one knows where the port will be built. The person says that they were raised up on the water front. If we need a dock anywhere else, but not in Georgetown. With that, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Leon Gold, you can be the one for the people. Leon Gold, vote number 2. Leon is the one for you. Leon is the one for you. I said Leon is the one for you. So vote number 2. Graham said, I've heard up there the streets are made of gold. Leon Gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. Cayman, I believe when your days down here all through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. Do the right thing. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. Yeah, man, there's a place up there for people like you.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, EastEnders. This is Roulstone Carter, your candidate for East End Member of Parliament. Tomorrow, April 30th, is Election Day, time when you will vote for the next representative for East End. I want to sincerely thank you for inviting me into your homes to listen to your concerns, pains, and struggles, and for discussing your disappointments and desire for a better future. Thanks for the opportunity to share my bold vision and initiatives with you so that East End can get the bold leadership and voice we deserve. Together we can get it done. Once elected, I will work with all of you to unite all of the people of East End, not just the selected few. Bold leadership, bold initiatives, and bold results. On April 30th, East Enders, I encourage you to go out and vote number 2, Roydell Carter.
Loud and clear.
That was a paid political announcement.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Cayman's cruise industry is already strong. With over 1 million passengers a year, we are ranked 6th in the region. But as cruise lines push passengers to spend on board, local businesses earn less from every visitor. A cruise pier doesn't fix that. It just gives cruise corporations more control while Cayman carries the cost. We have to ask ourselves, what else do the cruise lines and developers want from us? Instead of spending hundreds of millions, let's invest in solutions that benefit our people first. Vote no on April 30th.
Cayman's tourism should work for Caymanians, not cruise corporations. Save our Cayman. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, Red Bay. I'm Roy Tatum, your PPM candidate. I've served our country for years, leading through challenges and delivering results that matter. I'm stepping forward to serve you because Red Bay deserves caring, attentive representation. I'm not here to make noise. I am here to make a difference, to listen, to work hard, and to stand up for what's right for our people and for love of country. If you want someone who won't quit on you, who leads with experience and heart, I am ready. Vote for trust and commitment. Vote number 3, Roy Tatum for Red Bay.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We're pressed for time, so we're going to try to get in as much as possible with Ms. Shirley Roulstone and Mr. Dwene Ebanks. The commercial that you heard earlier, that was the voice of Ms. Shirley Roulstone, as well. So we know that you want to talk to the voters out there about tomorrow's vote as well. So I'm going to give the mic back to you. We have about 8 minutes left before we close off this segment. So I'm going to give the mic to both of you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Osi. Yeah, I would like to, on that strain, I would like to encourage every single person who is registered to vote, even if you don't know what candidate that you want to vote for, please take a stand for yourself, for your country, and go and vote on the referendum questions. You don't have to answer any of the referendum questions, nor do you have to vote for a candidate, but it is the responsible thing to do, to go and vote, pick a candidate, and answer the cruise berthing referendums as your heart sees fit. But I don't really know that much about the other two, but I can tell you for the cruise berthing referendum question, I encourage every single person out there to vote no on that one due to the lack of information from the government side about what that involves. But the side that CPR has brought is actual data, and the only real answer to that question based on actual data is no. stop listening to the fear mongering. We are not at the bottom of the bucket in the cruise tourism world. We're one shot out of being in the top 5. We have the highest passenger disembarkation rate. We have the highest passenger spend. We have the highest onshore excursions per passenger. Our tourism has actually already increased this year, and you need to just go out and vote no. After that, we can ask questions, we can see what's going on, but if you vote yes, you're just giving the government or developers the license to do whatever they want, wherever they want on these 3 islands. Don't be fooled about, this is just to feel how the people feel. How can you feel about something you don't know anything about?
I'll just add to that, by all means. Voting no. We heard the commercial from those who are in the the act people talk about for our children. The best vote that Caymanians can do tomorrow is to go into that booth and vote no. You would have avoided destroying our natural marine environment, which is all we really have that God has blessed us with the exception of some of the interior flora and fauna, if you will, and our people. I want to say and speak to the Cayman Brac people also, because they're not here, they're Caymanians, and I know that that other group went over there to try to sweeten them with some words and that sort of thing and talk about cruise tourism coming to Cayman Brac. I want our Caymanians there to understand, do not vote to destroy your capital's harbor. It is a smokescreen. All the promises that they would have made, you take your time and develop Cayman Brac, and don't make the mistakes that we've made here in Grand Cayman in so many instances that has caused the Caymanian people to have a crying soul, if you will, when we look around and drive and go everywhere and remember all that was. See, it's not all glitter and gold, so don't make that mistake, Cayman Brac. Join us in helping us to not destroy the beautiful harbor that God has blessed us with on the water, marine environment that's there, that people just want us to just mull over and throw over in order to have tons of concrete in that harbor. Vote no tomorrow, Caymanians. It's the best decision we would have made, and we'll have the opportunity to come afterwards, if no is the choice tomorrow, to come afterwards and revisit everything that we want to do and get it right. Yes, as you mentioned before, many of us believe, and it's not, just picked out of the air. We have proof for that. I mean, our current Minister of Tourism talks about his positioning is that he believes the current harbor is where it should be. He said that out of his mouth in the studio. I've heard him. So there's no doubt in my mind that, they keep, and that's what's made me vote no. They keep talking about a yes vote will allow them to go back and examine everything. No, they have proven to us time and time again that that's not the case. That in fact, everything that the Act has shared with the public has been the thing that we talked about in 2019. Yet they're telling us if you vote yes, it gives them an opportunity to go and revisit and look at where to go and that sort of thing. So which is it? Which is it? The best decision to make, Caymanians, is to vote no. Don't destroy our country any further. We've done it on the land. And when I say destroy, I don't mean that in the worst possible way, but certainly we know the things that has caused us to cry in our heart and our soul. Don't destroy our marine environment. That's where God has blessed us.
Ms. Shirley?
I would just like to add that we have everything we need to be successful in tourism, and for every Caymanian that is in tourism to be able to thrive. Our problem is what we have has not been managed properly. Take a look at our beautiful public beach, where not even Caymanians want to go anymore. We have everything we need, people. We do not need piers. We have everything we need to be successful, for every Caymanian to be able to make a livable, proper, thriving wage in this country, but we have not managed it properly, and that's what we've got to elect new people in and get this sorted out.
The environment
that gets this sorted out.
There's only been a few of them that I've heard, Shirley, that has talked about supporting the environment, and if you all have been listening carefully, that choice would be pretty clear to me.
And we can fix our beach. We can fix our reefs ourselves. We do not need to bring sand from anywhere else. We have some good plans. If you guys just help us get this across the finish line and vote no. Vote no. We have everything we need here for Caymanians to thrive.
Let me quickly share one more with you. This person says, good afternoon. It's always refreshing to see those who have the courage to stand for what they believe, and in particular for the best interest of their home country. I totally agree that asking anyone to vote yes, although I understand it is not a binding referendum without providing them with the relevant information. The total truth also. That's behind this referendum, or people need to have all of the necessary information to make an informed decision. To those who are asking for a no vote, I feel you've provided research, data, etc., to at least help enlighten our folks on who on the no vote. Thank you. The person said
that was our mission, was to bring education to people for them to make a choice, and the information that we have brought, it leads to a no vote.
Yes. Okay, I want to thank you all very much. I'm looking forward after tomorrow's vote as well to having your organization back in the studio, because it doesn't end, tomorrow. If anything, it only begins.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr.
tomorrow as well. Thank you for all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we will have representatives from the People's Progressive Movement in the studio. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Sentencing is scheduled for today for Dorian Hunter, the man accused of selling cars in the Sister Islands that were never delivered. He was found guilty in Grand Court earlier this year, and sentencing expected around 2 p.m. today. In international headlines, U.S. President Donald Trump is due to sign an executive order today to relax some of his 25% tariffs on autos and auto parts. Automakers and independent analysis have indicated the tariffs could raise prices, reduce sales, and make U.S. production less competitive worldwide. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said at a briefing today that Mr. Trump would sign the order, but declined to provide details. The cause of Spain and Portugal's widespread blackouts remain a mystery today, with some isolated disruption remaining after power was largely restored to both countries. One of Europe's most severe blackouts grounded planes, paralyzed metro systems, disrupted mobile communications, and even shut down ATMs across the Iberian Peninsula yesterday. By 7 a.m. today, more than 99% of the energy demand in Spain had been restored. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott was a quiet-natured child who liked going on the bluff with his grandfather Oscar Brown, swimming every Saturday evening and playing cricket down where Miss Alamay's house sits now. He was very studious at Creek Elementary School and did very well under the tutelage of his favourite teacher, Miss Isley Connolly in BE. Following the tragic death of his father at sea, at age 14, he left school to work with Arnold Foster to support his family. In 1953, he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to boatswain. From 1953 until 2006, some 52 years, Captain Scott made his living working off the seas.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, Cayman Islands, and especially the constituents of West Bay Central. My name is Jewel Hides, and I am candidate number 2 on the ballot. I take this opportunity to invite you to my final meeting on the 29th of April at 7:30 p.m. We will be at the Lamar Plaza in Parsons AC parking lot. Come out and hear the plans I have for West Bay Central and the wider Cayman Islands. It's going to be a promising and exciting evening. We're going to have guest speakers and we're going to have lots of information to share with you. On April the 30th, let's reclaim our future together.
Reclaim our future together. It's time to make a change that lasts forever.
The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me and now the leader of the People's Progressive Movement, Honorable Joey Hew, and also the candidate representing the party in the constituency of East End, Ms. Delmira Bodden. Folks, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, OC, and thank you for having us on today. This being crunch day.
Yes, getting near the finish line.
Near the finish line, absolutely. And not probably, this will be the last time I'll be on your show for this political cycle.
Right.
And we'll see what capacity I come back on next time. But great to be here today. And just looking forward to, tomorrow and the election day and seeing a huge turnout at the polls and of course seeing democracy work here as it has over the years and appreciating the freedom that we have to exercise our democratic rights to vote without fear and without any concerns about your safety, etc. And many people around the world do not have that right, so we don't take it for granted, and we appreciate that and thank the good Lord that we are still that sort of country.
Have you been tracking some of the voting statistics so far in terms of like the number of postal ballots, the number of mobile votes? I think I heard another candidate speak about East End, and they saw a huge increase in the number of postal ballot requests, I believe, for East End, was it, or mobile voting?
Yeah, we had a huge increase of requests for mobile voting in East End, and that is very encouraging. People are participating in this democratic process, and I know for certain that we had a large turnout, and the people in East End wants to see a difference.
Yeah, we also saw across the board we've seen a huge amount of or a huge increase, I should say, on mobile voting or persons traveling, really, postal ballots because of traveling, that sort of stuff. I think with the elections being held so close to Easter, many people had family vacations planned and stuff like that. So it has been quite a number of postal ballots, and also it has been refreshing to see the increase in numbers and the engagement by the younger people. Our college students are very much engaged. I am aware of, several Zoom meetings that they've had collectively with different groups and stuff like that. So even though they're away in college, our young people are very much engaged in this election.
Okay, and I know in previous discussions you talk about the revival of your youth arm as well.
Yes.
What the plans are in relation to that?
Absolutely, and we have seen even in this election, and some interview I was watching. I did so many interviews. I was watching one where I was talking about after our manifesto launch, a young gentleman and his father came to speak to me, and the young man was surprised by the amount of young people that were there, and a lot of them were family members. But a lot of their friends came along, and it was just, the young man said, wow, he goes, I didn't expect this when I came to this meeting, to see all these young people behind the counter serving food, helping out with registration, with T-shirts and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, and I said, that's my son, that's my nephew, my niece. And he goes, it's a real family a real family affair. And I said, well, yeah. I said, but that's a party that's been around for 23 years. You're going to have that feel. You're going to have a family affair. When I first ran with the PPM in 2013, there were members of the party and candidates, etc., that had young kids that are now grown adults and are a part of the organization, and they're having kids. And it's just, it is when you've been around and organized this long, it is a family.
Ms. Delmira, it must be interesting to see or to participate in the elections in East End with so many candidates running. I believe this is probably the largest number that you've had at one time. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's been the largest number, and I must say to the people of East End, thanks for being patient, but also thanks for participating. There has been so many meetings for them to attend, so much information dropped at their doors for our small community. But they were always very open, very warm, very receptive, listening and really interested in hearing what each candidate has to offer. I always encourage unity, togetherness. We have to live in East End together. So we must understand that this is about policies. This is about what is going to make our country great again. This is about putting East End first and putting this country first. And when I visit people door to door, I even shook hands with other candidates and say good morning, good evening. Sometimes you got to the point where one or two things might have been something you had to talk about, but we talk about them as mature adults, and we continue moving and working together for the betterment of this country. And I encourage the people of East End to vote for number 1, Delmira Bodden, on election day. I have East End first. I understand the issues. They are real. We have a lot of things that needs to be addressed in the district of East End. East End has been neglected for the last 4 years, and we can no longer look to road maintenance as a reason for someone to elect you back into Parliament. We have a real job to do. We have housing. We have cost of living. We have education. We have healthcare problems. We have insurance. Those are the things that we have to have on the table. Immigration reform. It is not about maintaining a road. It has to be done. But do not come back 4 years and tell me that this is the reason why somebody should vote for you and promise them for another 4 years to do something. It has to be done within the 4 years as much as possible as we can do for the people of these islands and put Caymanians first. It is no longer about a party or inviting someone over through the protocols that we may do around election. It is not about having refreshments. It's about having a real plan for the people of this country and taking them to greater heights.
And if you and your party are successful, what are some of the things that you would prioritize, some of the things that you would want to see done as soon as possible.
Some of the things that I would like to see be done as soon as possible. The East-West Arterial is a priority for us. The farm road has to be widened. The farmers must see progress in order for them to be sustainable. We must provide them with grants and funding. We must look at the economy of East End and how we can sustain the businesses in our district and them not being closed from Thursday and open only Thursday to Sunday. We must ensure that housing, especially for the young people in East End, some of them own land. They have been waiting 2 years with housing to get a home built, and it has not happened even after approvals with the bank. We have to deal with education. Trade schools have to be a priority. We have to go into East End Primary School and enhance the facility and to deal with tutoring and to help the high cost of living. East End is seeing a quadruple rise in cost of living because just to bring things to East End, it costs more. Just to drive and commute from East End to Georgetown, it costs more. Everything is costing more for the East End people. It can no longer be blacktop. It has to be real solution. It has to be real plan. We need tourism in East End. We really need tourism. Do not give away our resources to other persons, and the senior citizens in our district is suffering. Housing is in poor condition. People are living in molds. The water is wetting their beds. Senior citizens, children are living in poor condition and hungry. And we must get and hit the ground running on May 1st to solve all of these issues. It is not about somebody that you like as a person. It is someone that can get the job done. And I'm ready to serve the people of East End. We are going through too much. Our district has been neglected. We need someone with a real business plan. And that business plan is to hit the ground running, not in one area, but all areas. And number one priority, no East Ender should have to cross Health City with an emergency. They should be able to stop in at that facility, be stabilized, even if they're sent on to HSA. But we must have real solutions in place based on our demographic area that we live, where we're situated. We must look at all of the advantages and disadvantages that the people of East End has had.
Okay, Mr. Leader.
Yeah, no, you can hear the passion there, OC, and these are the sorts of issues that have arisen as we've walked around and visited within the neighborhoods. And Delmira and her team have been working really hard there in East End, and we hear from her every week the struggles that she's seen there and the issues that the folks are facing up there. So we're just very happy to have Delmira on board. As you can hear, she knows what the issues are. Everyone knows her work ethics from over the years that she's worked within the community. And this lady is ready to hit the ground running on May 1st with a good team behind her to ensure that East End gets the representation that it so deserves and desires. And as she talked about, finding ways. I mean, East End is one of those places that we have to hurry and give attention to as far as the national development plan is concerned, because it's one of the few places that we can still preserve for Caymanians. And many persons up there have tracts of land or have their own pieces of property, and that those are the kind of programs that are low-hanging fruit. You own your property, you qualify under the government scheme, we'll get the house built for you, whether it's a guaranteed down payment with the bank, whether it is built on your own property scheme through the National Housing Trust. There's so many that we can do to allow those persons. We can take it even a step further. One of our ideas on dealing with the housing shortage is that Caymanians who own land, who are land rich, but don't have the cash to develop that land, and they wish to develop some of it for future, we would work with them through incentives as well as our concessions, as well as filling the needs of NAU, because we know what they need. They know what they need as far as housing, and etc. And so we would put together a package that would allow them to go to the bank and say, I have guaranteed leases for 2 of my 5 apartments I'm going to build for 10 years from the government. I have these concessions from the government, and this puts me in a position that I can now borrow the money to realize my dream to develop my 5 apartments or finish my 5 apartments. And 2 would go straight into the government scheme. The other 3, the developer, the Caymanian, would be allowed to participate in the open market with those three. And what you get there is you get a Caymanian that realizes their dream to develop their little piece of property. You get housing for Caymanians through the Poor Relief and NAU, and then you also get social diversification. So we're just spreading it across the island, and there are Caymanians from West Bay to East End that are in that position. Some have, we drive around and you see so many of these apartment blocks, duplexes, 5, 6, 7, 8 apartments. They're up to the belting, or they're halfway there and they're overgrown by bush because, we got to go out there and empower those persons. Those are Caymanians trying to realize their dream, and people are doing it all around them, and they can't get past that. So we have to become creative. We have two issues. We have a housing crisis, and we have Caymanians who cannot afford to participate in this housing market. So we accomplish two things by helping to reduce that housing crisis and empowering our Caymanians to play their role in this.
What about East End's role also in food sustainability? One of the few districts that still has, arable land, as well.
Yeah, and I'll let Delmira speak to that because I know she's passionate about it. But also, again, this is why it's so important that we get Plan Cayman going. And we get to places like East End where we can properly plan for the future. Plan Cayman was last updated in 1997, or was done in 1997. And all of us now, we can look at the rest of the districts and see where we've made mistakes, see where we haven't planned properly, and we have a chance to do that with East End. But I'll let Delmira speak about agriculture.
East End is the breadbasket of the Cayman Islands. The farmers have been disenfranchised for a long time. East End has the capacity to produce more. They need to be monitored correctly and provided with the support. The farmers, when I sit and visiting them through the district of East End, they need the support of the Department of Agriculture. They cannot get fertilizer sometimes. They cannot get the vitamins. They cannot get the things that they need in order for them to sustain what they have thus far. That is something that we will look into as we get into ensure that the farmers are supported to sustain whatever they have on their plantations or within the farming community. What we also find is that for the last 20 years, the East End farmers, or even less, I would say 15 to 20 years, they were told that government-owned land, they would have been able to lease an acre of that land for farmers to expand and new farmers to enter the farming market. And that has never happened. The land is there. Let us help the farmers expand. Some of the farmers has had to give up their farming grounds because it was done on private land and land that they didn't own themselves. And the more of that land that gets sold, the least East End is going to produce. With food costs at the rate that we see it now, we can create a cheaper, we can grow cheaper food if we support the farmers. We can produce cheaper food if we help the farmers. Right now, eggs in East End is a whole lot cheaper than the eggs that are being imported.
Just got 2 dozen from there. Last week, someone brought 2 dozen from a gentleman up there. I'd like to promote his name and stuff, but
David Scott.
yes, you said it.
He's one of our egg farmers. But the farmers are, they have the energy, they have the ambition, they need the resources. We need to get in with each farmer and see the potential and grow from the ground up. And I literally mean that, understanding what their challenges are, what they presently have, and what we can add to that in order that we can look at the food market in the Cayman Islands and offset a lot of the prices that we are facing through importation, and food costs is skyrocketing. As a result now, as tariffs that's being implemented, we have to watch that very carefully. Food costs, we also have to look at the war, and the pandemic didn't help us. So we've worked through some events that are around the world that is beyond our control, but we can control what's happening in the Cayman Islands. Let us prepare ourselves. Let us ensure that we have sustainable farming.
Yeah, the warnings are there. OC,
Yeah,
we see just how fickle the entire world is at the moment. When you look at events like what's happening in Spain and Portugal with the outages and stuff like that, anything can happen at any moment that could cut off our food supply. So food sustainability is paramount. I like to do my own little gardening. I grow my own vegetables, have my chickens and stuff.
Yep.
But I tell you, when I went to the agriculture show and I went to the East End booth, I was so embarrassed. I said, my peppers, my vegetables, my carrots don't look anything like these. I mean, I was like, I would never bring mine here to show it off because, I was so impressed with what I saw coming out of East End. It's just, unbelievable.
I wanted to say that I was so passionate about farming and understanding the importance of farming that I ensured that along with the East End Community Association, we started our the grow boxes at East End Primary School and make sure that was a part of their curriculum and ensure that they too get the knowledge from primary school. It has to start from that age for young people to be interested in farming, but also be the future producers of these islands and be the future farmers, whether it's something that they do as a hobby or something they want to do full time. So when I look at a lot of our backyard farmers like Rodney Welcome and his wife, they have a beautiful farm. I buy eggs from them. The eggs are good. They're organic. They don't have a lot of this, chemicals that you feed the chicken and stuff. It is not only healthy, but it's better for us to have a food supply that we can depend on the island in the event of not only high rise in food costs, but any emergencies that may occur, that we know that we have homegrown a large inventory that can sustain us over a long amount of time or short amount of time.
But how do we give these people the exposure that they need, to have? Because everything is almost by word of mouth. We're hearing about Rodney and his wife now. Maybe they're at the farmers market out there. I'm not sure. But, how can we raise these people to prominence so that more people know, about them? How can the government assist in that venture?
Yeah, I think that, my simple response to that would be a government operated, supported, promoted, maybe through the Agricultural Society, a list of the farmers and where their goods are available. This is an easy place to do it. You could actually have a bit of a farmers trade sort of website where you can go on to find out if because I do know the little bit of gardening I do, and because I have my own chickens and stuff, once one backyard farmer finds another, you get in touch and you'll get a shout out, hey, I'm in need of some pallets, I'm in need of a couple of pots, agriculture's out of this I need. So there's always that kind of communication, and maybe there's room for a platform where farmers can communicate with each other, but also persons can go on to see what's available.
I agree with my leader, Joey Hew, but we also, I want to add to that, where during COVID, being locked down, having IT is also very important. People could order their foods through WhatsApp. Online, and that should be connected to the Department of Agriculture, getting all of those farmers online so that they function through emergencies and function through normal times. Because even the supermarkets now deliver food to your home. You just go on and you go on the app and you actually plug in what kind of foods do you want, what your groceries, and they deliver it to your home. You pay for it online. Farmers are now delivering door to door, because I know they deliver in my area.
Okay.
So I think that you are so right, and we have the same intentions, is to ensure that all farmers, whether small or large farmers, big farmers, are on that website where people can support whichever farmer they would love to support.
Okay. Now also, East End, I would say, has probably the largest concentration of timeshares on island, because you have two timeshares, two locations there, and it doesn't appear as if East End has taken advantage of the opportunities. Yes, we have, some cottage industries that are, appearing there now. We have a bicycle, tour company that is there. But how can the District of East End take advantage of the mere fact that you have people who are coming through there on a daily basis to go to those timeshares, and how can they harness their presence to build up cottage industries in East End?
It starts with a member of parliament having a business plan and a good relationship with the business community, and understanding the vision of the people and the needs to connect them to the endless possibilities, and tapping into all of these resources to increase economically with whatever services they are providing and how they fit within the tourism product. What I find is that it's not organized. We have tour buses coming to East End every single day, loaded with tourists. They stop at the Collier's public beach. There is no vendor set up there to meet them. They walk out on the beach, they use the bathroom, and they take a picture. The loaded buses is stopping by the Record of 10 sales that was closed for 4 years. And that was a site that was needed for the East End senior citizens. I myself personally advocated for the people of East End to have the Record of 10 sale site. And I contacted the minister to ensure that happened. It never happened. It has just been given to somebody else that is not from the District of East End. The senior citizens will never be in that building until that is rectified. Tour buses were stopping there just to use the bathroom for 4 years. That's lost revenue. That has lost a lot of business opportunities for our people in East End to have made a revenue, to make a salary, to make an income right in their community, to be their face of businesses, to be the entrepreneurs of these beautiful islands, including in East End. The buses also go by the blowholes. The blowholes is a very world-renowned site, tourist attraction. The buses stop at that site, and there's a gentleman, a local guy from East End, selling coconut water. They have craft displayed there, and the tour, I have stood there because I was contacted, and because I sat there and I watched it day after day. And no matter how much I walked across the road and asked the bus drivers to please allow the tourists to interact with the local people on the opposite side of the road, it never happened. We have a lot of historical sites. I want those historical sites under a council in East End, not only to develop them, but to provide employment, where East End is a face of their community. They know the history, they know their community well, and it's an employment opportunity for them. We are going to showcase the District of East End. The council is not going to only be responsible for development. They are going to also be responsible for understanding the economic reality that we can achieve and arrive at from just managing those sites correctly and making sure that East End is first, and the face of development is the East End people, and the employees of East End and the employers is East End people.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. The conversation with leader of the PPM, Mr. Joey Hew, and Ms. Delmira Bodden will continue after this short commercial break.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Cayman, it's time to paint the town red. Join us for the PPM Final Rally, Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Compass Green, live entertainment, food, refreshments, and unity. Come one, come all. Bring the family, bring the energy, and be sure to bring the red. Don't take the wrong turn, Cayman. Let's go forward. Vote PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
The following is a paid political announcement by the Caymanian Community Party.
Greetings, Cayman. I am Andre Ebanks, the leader of the Caymanian Community Party. We know what we have today is not working. It's high time for a government that will work for the many, not the few. Go look at our manifesto, votetccp.ky, for a true, realistic blueprint on how to lower the cost of living and create a stronger and fairer Cayman for this generation and generations to come. The choice is clear, Cayman. On 30 April, vote TCCP straight. God bless.
That was a paid political message by the Caymanian Community Party.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Cruise lines control how passengers spend their money, from shopping on board to taking the lion's share of pre-booked tours. That means less business for Cayman's tour operators and retailers. A pair won't change that. Instead, it just gives cruise corporations a bigger stake in Cayman's tourism industry. If we want a stronger economy, we need better deals for Caymanians, not more power for cruise lines. Vote no on April 30th.
Cayman's economy should serve Caymanians first. Save our Cayman. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The following is a paid political message.
Hi, this is Roulstone, England, inviting you to my final campaign rally on Tuesday, April 29th at the Cayman Turtle Center's parking lot at 7 p.m. Come on out for an evening filled with lively endorsements, entertainment, and light refreshments. Please vote number 1, Roulstone, England, for West Bay North.
That was a paid political message.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We still have a little bit less than an hour to go with Mr. Hew and Ms. Delmira. We're hopefully will be joined by another member, but in the event that we don't, we're going to continue the conversation, on here. And I don't believe that we can finish a conversation about the District of East End without talking, about Poinciana and not the plant, not the flower.
Yeah. So, thank you. I'll start off on that, OC. So we do know that, Poinciana was a mental health facility that started under the PPM government. Mm-hmm. It did take a while to get open for whatever the reasons may be. But we are thankful it's open now, and we do have patients who are away for many, many years home with their families. But it can't end there. OC, as you know, we have challenges with housing young persons with mental disabilities, and we also have challenges with housing persons with mental disabilities but have an aggressive or violent side to it. So there are discussions. I understand that there are proposals being prepared for utilizing some of the empty cottages there as we designed it and built the Ponciana facility for future growth. And but we have to be careful with that as we were discussing, because of course those persons who have violent tendencies will need a proper secure facility. And then of course with children we have to safeguard the children. Yes. So we'll wait until we get in to see what's there, but we understand that the work has not been done yet. We're not finished yet. There's still so much more that needs to be done to assist those in our communities with mental health challenges, even including perhaps having outpatient facilities where persons can go and be supervised during the day while their parents are at work, their caregivers or loved ones are at work. So we can look at these things across the districts and see where we can look at putting facilities for that, because it is very much a part of our community now. It's the time has gone where you hide these things or you just lock people away. Many of our loved ones can live a productive life if they're getting the proper support that they need to do so. I don't know if Delmira had...
Sure. Working in the Department of Children and Family Services, I saw the need for the facilities. And now that it's in East End, I understand that the pods are there for to expand and to ensure that we encompass the needs of the mental community and the services that they need, meaning mental services captures all ages. They cater to all ages. With that facility there, we will be able to assist young people, persons that just needs to come by for a day while their family's at work, that they're in a safe, secure environment, and they're actively participating in their own care and ensuring that they're with professionals that can help them get through a difficult period and to preserve life.
Okay, I'll share one of the messages from one of our listeners. This person says, so true, ma'am. That's referring to you, Ms. Delmira. And they say, look at the bluff on Cayman Brack and the amount of land, the people that they put to work on the road in the Brack. It should be a week on the road and 1 or 2 weeks on the bluff planting fruits and vegetables and bread kind, as they call it. The person says that they're 72 years old and they plant every little thing that they can. And that a couple of months ago, he dug up a sweet potato weighing 5 pounds.
Wow.
So again, it goes to show you, the potential, and, you can basically, feed yourself as well. This other person has written and said, so encouraging to listen to such great positive initiatives. So sadly, it seems there is something at the header of the Parliament building that wipes out the memory box from each representative brain for 4 years.
What I can say to that person, and we all need a good laugh every now and then. That is exactly why you want to vote for a established party who presents you with a manifesto, not only with what the issues are. Everyone can find out what the issues are, because all you have to do is do a poll or do a study and you can find out what the issues are, or just go listen to people. And that's the right way to do it. But not only outlining what the issues are, but then outlining in some detail what the answers are, what our actions will be. And once we are elected as a PPM government, then persons can look at that manifesto and just follow the manifesto. And we have committed to actually governing ourselves, where we will put out semi-annual reports, etc. I know the Chamber of Commerce is also planning to do the same thing. On a side note, I think you and I talked about it, when the PPM was in power, the press used to run, first 90 days, first 100 days, first year. And that was easy for them to do because they had our manifesto. Yeah. If you looked at the last 4 years with the PAC government, the press never once did a report card in the government. They never did a 30-day. They never did a 100-day. They never did a first year because they had nothing to score it against. You can't score a test without the questions and the answers. So they had, if you look at the 4 years, I challenge anyone to go back and find any of the press that actually did a report card on the PAC government over the 4 years. Because what are you judging them on? Mm-hmm. So it's, when you go in there as an unorganized group without a manifesto, a group of individuals thrown together for whatever purposes, you can have whatever excuse in the world.
Okay. 2 points that we want to get to when we return from the next commercial break. One listener wanted to know, where does your party stand in relation, or the PPM leader, they say. So seems as if it's directed towards you as opposed to the party on the vote for the marijuana referendum question, as well as the national lottery. And also on Monday's show, your deputy, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, pointed out that if the PPM is elected, the government gets the majority of votes to form the government, that the people of the Cayman Islands will know who their premier will be. Mm-hmm. They will know who their deputy premier will be. They will know who their minister of finance, will be, as well. So when we return, I'd like to talk about the certainty that the People's Progressive Movement will offer in terms of knowing where people stand as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo Footlong Cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points. Or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo Footlong Cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Bodden, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Bodden Town. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Building a cruise pier means years of construction, traffic congestion, business closures, and lost jobs. And for what? A project that mainly benefits the cruise lines? Local businesses, tour operators, and family-run shops will feel the impact long before any promised gains materialize. Why should Cayman take on the risk while cruise companies take the reward? Vote no on April 30th.
Caymanians deserve better. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, East Enders. This is Rourke Connor, your candidate for East End Member of Parliament. Tomorrow, April 30th, is Election Day, time when you will vote for the next representative for East End. I want to sincerely thank you for inviting me into your homes to listen to your concerns, pains, and struggles, and for discussing your disappointments and desire for a better future. Thanks for the opportunity to share my bold vision and initiatives with you so that East End can get the bold leadership and voice we deserve. Together we can get it done. Once elected, I will work with all of you to unite all of the people of East End, not just the selected few. Bold leadership, bold initiatives, and bold results. On April 30th, East Enders, I encourage you to go out and vote number 2, Roydell Carter.
Roydell Carter, loud and clear.
That was a paid political announcement.
The Economics and Statistics Office is currently conducting the annual business surveys until June 13th. The surveys collect information to answer questions like, how did the economy perform in 2024? In 2024, how much did foreign companies invest in the Cayman Islands? The surveys include all relevant entities that produce goods and services in the Cayman Islands. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the ESO. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business. For assistance in filling out the forms or for more information, visit eso.ky or call 244-4676 or 244-4600.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Orrett Connor. I want to extend my apologies to the writer who spoke about the 5-pound sweet potato, and I think I referred to the individual as he, and it turned out that it is a female rather than a male, and I guess, you know, my thinking, I'm not a chauvinist, but sometimes men have a tendency to associate certain things, you know, with a certain gender, and thinking that farmers could only be male as opposed to female. And I should know better. I should know better because I grew up in the early days with the Dixons on Crew Road, right opposite, right behind what was called the Dip, behind Mr. Roscoe's house, opposite McDonald's on Crew Road there. Minnie and Agna and Eke and Amy, and they were all had their own ground, grew their own cassava and everything, had tons of fruit trees in their yard. So I should know better. But again, so I'm correcting that. That was a female, and we have many female farmers as well. I think Miss Delmira, you want to have a word on this as well?
You are correct. In the district of East End, my hometown, I grew up in the district of East End, understanding when the men was away to sea who tend to the plantation, and it was the women. Not only did they tend to the plantation, they raised and reared their children. So yes, we have, even today, we have we have women that are involved in farming. Miss Laverne Welcome is one of them. Miss Carmen Connolly still do farming, I think, in her backyard. There are several other farmers that I am aware of. Pamela McLaughlin, I know she still do farming. Aunt Glenda might not can do very much, Glenda McLaughlin, but she's still in the land getting mangoes and tending to cows and still on the plantation. So it is a way of life, and I think it's going to be that way for a while. And the more that we can implement sustainability in farming and to expand and to ensure that the resources and the grants are there for that expansion, we will have sustainability and a good inventory of food to defray high food costs in our country.
Mr. Leader, this person, I think we still had a question from someone in relation to your position in relation to the port, and I'll add this to it. This person has written in and said, please ask the PPM leader, one, what is the opinion on the referendum about the port? I think what is his opinion, I believe they mean there. And number two, if you are the government, what are you going to do about cruise lines dictating how busy will be operated in Cayman? How businesses are going to be operated in the Cayman Islands? I don't know. I guess whatever relationship the cruise lines will have with businesses, local businesses.
Sorry, repeat it again.
Okay, let me read it again. If they are the government, what are they going to do about the cruise lines dictating how businesses will be operated in Cayman?
Okay. OC, first I think one of the first question was asking my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that how I vote on the referendum is my personal views, and it wouldn't be fair to impart them on anyone or to do it public. First of all, it's my private, my personal views and my democratic right to do so. But also to impart them or to influence anyone without having an opportunity to sit with them and explain why I feel that way. And we don't have enough time on this show to do that for each one of them, or to run a campaign on that. And from a party perspective, we have accepted that there's a referendum, that people will have their say. It doesn't mean that if there is a yes vote that it's a blank canvas that we can just go and do what we want to do. We still have to come back to the people with a plan and follow the good governance as far as doing all of the different preliminary, the outline business case, strategic business case, and all of the public consultations that have to happen in each case. So that's where we are on the referendum questions. The second question asked about where we stood on that, and I just explained that.
Yep.
But I think they are trying to ask how will we ensure that there are fair competition, perhaps. And I think what has happened over the years is we have organized groups, some that have been supported by the government, created by the government, and they have set pricing for tours and for Stingray City, etc. And then other groups have organized and will go and negotiate with the cruise lines and go cheaper, and then another group will go and organize and go cheaper. And one of the things that I'm also cognizant of, and I haven't seen too much of it recently, but I did notice it a couple of years back, and I did complain through whatever channels I could, and that was some of the cruise lines actually operating tours on island. There were bicycle tours and kayak tours and other things. So I think that has been stopped. And certainly if it hasn't been, it will be. And then I think we have to take some. I know Cayman, we do not have any form of laws to govern things such as price gouging or an opposite of that, price fixing, if you want to. But what we can do is we can say that these are our treasures, Stingray City, wherever it may be, and we insist that you cannot sell a tour to that for any lower than this amount. And then you somehow set that bar. We'd have to look at the legalities of it, and of course, how do you regulate that to ensure that persons aren't selling below that price? Those are all going to be challenges. But as far as controlling local pricing, we don't. we're not in favor of, and certainly would do anything wherever we find that the cruise lines are controlling local prices. I think what is happening in a open market like we have here, persons are selling the tours at whatever price they feel that they can afford to do so, and it's an open and competitive market. What we have to ensure is, and I know that we try to do, is continue to ensure that persons selling tours and persons handling out guests are doing it at a standard, at a level that is expected for the Cayman Islands.
Okay. Sorry.
No. Yeah, we were chatting, I think you mentioned earlier about voting for, knowing who your leader is going to be.
Yes.
And I mentioned that earlier when the person made a joke about going into the Parliament building. It wipes your memory. And yeah, no, we have the manifesto that you can actually follow along and see where we have made promises and whether we're holding those promises and how our progress is. And we see what has happened here recently, and I'm going to take a different direction on this. We had, it seems, in my opinion, that, and all indications are, and especially recently, that the other two parties, the Cayman Islands National Party and the TCCP, have joined together somehow. Right? They've certainly aligned themselves with each other. You will never hear any of their candidates or any of their advertisement challenging each other. Both of them challenge the PPM, and I guess that is because we are the party to beat. But I think both of them have also realized most recently that they are not in a position, nor do they have the numbers to win a government outright. The TCCP would have to win 100% of their seats, and the similar would be the Cayman National Party would have to win 99% of their seats. And so we've heard recently from the Cayman Islands National Party interim leader, who was at all times the leader of the Cayman Islands National Party, now saying in an interview on Compass Television that the post-election day, they will have a meeting where they will democratically elect a leader and a deputy leader. So I don't know if that is just the Cayman Islands National Party or whether that is because it is anticipated that the Cayman Islands National Party candidates and the Cayman Community Party candidates are going to come together, and then they will hold an election and elect a leader and a deputy leader. Because otherwise from that, it makes no sense. You are a party and you're the leader. People are supporting your party because you've presented yourself as a viable leader and you have led throughout the entire election. Why would you go and have a vote after the election to change the leadership?
Okay, good
because
point.
I will say to all members of anyone intending to vote for the PPM, unless God has other plans for me, I will be the leader of the PPM if a majority is elected. If the majority of PPM members are not elected and we are forced to go and create an alliance with independents or anyone else, then no, my leadership is not guaranteed. But certainly if, and God's willing, we will be successful in having a majority of our candidates pass the line, and have the 10 persons it takes to form a government, I will be the leader. I don't think the other parties can say the same thing.
Okay, with that, gone a little bit over our 2 o'clock news, but we're going to go to our headline news at 2 o'clock. When we return, the conversation will continue with Ms. Delmira Bodden and the leader of the PPM, the People's Progressive Movement, Honorable Joey Hew. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Yesterday, today,
always and forever.
Always love. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. A soft opening for the newly developed Pease Bay Public Beach Friday. The facility offers 4 cabanas, a volleyball court, beach swing, restrooms with showers, and parking. A designated camping area with power outlets is still under construction. In regional headlines, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the victory of Kamla Persad-Bissessar in Monday's general election is an indication of the confidence of the people of Trinidad and Tobago in her leadership. Guyana's President, Dr. Ifan Ali, also extended similar congratulations to Persad-Bissessar, who led her United National Congress coalition to an overwhelming victory, winning 26 of the 41 seats at stake in the polls. The incumbent People's National Movement of Prime Minister Stuart Young won 13 seats, while the newly formed Tobago People's Party won both seats in Tobago. As Canada's Liberals celebrated election victory in a stunning turn of fortune, vote counting resumed today to determine whether Prime Minister Mark Carney's party gains an outright majority or needs help in Parliament from a smaller party. Carney's rival, populist conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, was in the lead until U.S. President Donald Trump took aim at Canada with a trade war and threats to annex it as the 51st state. Poilievre not only lost his bid for prime minister, but was voted out of the parliament seat that he had held for 20 years. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Leon Gold, you can be the one for the people. Leon Gold, vote number 2. Leon is the one for you. Leon is the one for you. I said Leon is the one for you. So vote number 2. Graham said, I've heard up there the streets are made of gold. Leon Gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. Cayman, I believe when your days down here all through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. Do the right thing. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. Yeah, man, there's a place up there for people like you.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We have about 24 minutes left in the discussion this afternoon, and I think this will be the last political discussion that will take place on Radio Cayman in relation to candidates before tomorrow's election, because come tonight, after midnight tonight, that's when all the campaigning ends as well. So I'm sure at some point in time you want to talk about any events that you still have, remaining as well. But I believe you want to offer some condolences before we go on to the next subject.
Yeah, thank you, OC. Yeah, I think many of us have heard the sad news this morning about the untimely passing of who we affectionately call Whitelock, a fireman, someone well known in our community, and the brother of a candidate from Red Bay, Miss Natasha Whitelock. And so we would like to offer, on behalf of the People's Progressive Movement, offer our condolences to the entire family, and in particular to Natasha at this time. It's a very difficult time. We'd also like to offer condolences to the uniformed services, in particular the fire services, for the loss of their colleague. You know how tight the fire services are, and you know he's a long-standing and well-respected member of that team, and so we offer condolences also to them. and to other friends and to the rest of the uniformed services on behalf of the People's Progressive Movement. So, you know, it's important that OC that we take the time to do things like this, because as I've said a few times on the stage, we are all Caymanians at the end of the day, and I truly believe that the vast majority of persons who contend elections are doing it for the right reasons, and we're all doing it for the same reasons. We may have different views on how we get there, but the goal is to better our people. And so we just wanted to offer those words of comfort and condolences to the family and those affected by his passing. I want to also, say a huge thank you to, first of all, our supporters. It has been 8 long weeks, and I tell you what,
seems so much longer.
They have. I know how tired I feel getting there, and when you look out in the audience and you see those supporters out there enthusiastically giving you, I mean, we can tell you, we get there and our energy is just drained. We're out canvassing, we're answering calls, we're doing interviews, we're writing stuff, we're trying to plan, trying to keep everybody in line, and then you get out to the meeting, you're exhausted, you had to work on your speech at the last minute, and then you just get, first of all, you hear that PPM song, we're moving forward, and then you see the crowd and you see the sea of red and the horns and the people cheering you on and hugging you, and it just lifts your spirits and gives you that energy to continue on. And we could not have gotten this far without our supporters. They have been tremendous. They are the best supporters in the country, I can tell you that. They are the best supporters. And then also to the staff and all of the volunteers of the PPM that work tirelessly. When we go home and we leave the meetings, they're there sometimes for hours after, packing up, cleaning up, and then right back at it again the next morning. Too many names to mention. However, we do have to say special recognition for Ms. Sharon Ebanks, who has been with the party as long as it has been around, and who acts like a 20-year-old and looks like a 20-year-old and works like a 20-year-old. The machine, the heart, the engine, everything behind the PPM office. And of course, we had Mr. Frank Cornwall on with us, working hard, making sure that all the meetings were organized. In some days, he had meetings in Georgetown and meetings in East End, and he was going between the two, setting them up, taking them down in one evening. Along with all the other volunteers. I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to them for all that they have done during this campaign. Our team in the campaign office, we had our final lunch prepared by Sir Alden yesterday for the campaign period. Anyhow,
okay. What did he cook?
And there was oxtail and
stew chicken.
Yeah,
okay. It was really good.
And hot Cayman rolls. Out of the oven. There were a lot of tears shed yesterday during that lunch. Everybody started to thank yous, and we really had grown into a family. Even those who were paid to work for us were crying yesterday. So
it was emotional.
It's a very emotional afternoon for us as we come to this point, and we are not over yet. Tonight at the Compass Green, 7 p.m., our final hurrah, the big rally, and we are encouraging every single soul to come out and support us. Bring a few of your friends, bring your family. Come and enjoy an evening of inspiration, an evening of hope, and an evening of gratitude, certainly from our side. We'll have live entertainment. The PPM song will actually be performed live as well, and you'll hear closing, the final remarks from all of the candidates this evening and a few special guests. So I would encourage everyone to come out to Compass Green this evening and let's end this campaign in style. Let's end with a bang,
high note,
and let's paint Georgetown red again tonight out at the Compass Green.
Yeah, I crossed there this morning. On our ride, it was four of us, minutes after 4 this morning, and they were out there setting up.
I think they must have worked right through the night because they had another event there last night.
Oh, okay,
So they did
okay,
quite
so
well.
they
They just had to transition colors, I guess.
Yeah, I say, gosh, they're getting ready so early for for an event. Ms. Delmira, you wanted to say something before I interrupt you there, sorry.
I want to extend a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to the people of East End for their patience, their kindness, for sharing private information with me on the way they see this country and the changes that needs to be made. The struggle is real, and it's going to take a strong representative, a bold representative, to get the job done. I thank them for trusting me and allowing me into their homes and into their hearts, into their families. My final meeting is tonight at Mellis Dixon's Yard in East End, and it starts at 7:30. Our meeting is for 1 hour. Over the last couple of months, I have had a rewarding experience, and I am honored and proud to have stood in the general elections as a candidate from the District of East End. I am also, with much gratitude to the PPM government, our leader, Mr. Joey Hew, and the entire PPM team, all of the candidates for their support, their guidance, and we are asking the people of the Cayman Islands, vote for PPM. In East End, I am asking you to vote for number 1, Delmira Bodden. I have dedicated my life to you, the people of East End. I will continue to put East End first. I will continue to advocate and fight for the needs of the people of East End. Voting tomorrow morning as the polls open is a very serious decision that we are going to make. We see the challenges that we face, and those challenges requires you to have serious consideration. Vote for someone that you know will get the job done, and that person is me. Vote for the PPM team that not only have a manifesto, but have solutions to some serious problems that we are facing today. Together we can take this country into safe waters. Together we can turn this around and ensure that the Caymanian people are first in this country. To do that, we have to choose wisely. So when you go to the polls, take your experience for the last 4 years and understand change is needed. And when I say change, the leadership is the change we are seeking from PPM. And the change we are seeking in East End is for number 1, Delmira Bodden.
Okay, with that, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly. Okay.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Cayman, it's time to paint the town red. Join us for the PPM Final Rally, Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Compass Green, live entertainment, food, refreshments, and unity. Come one, come all. Bring the family, bring the energy, and be sure to bring the red. Don't take the wrong turn, Cayman. Let's go forward. Vote PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
The following is a paid political announcement.
It's time to rise, April 30th, eastern skies. Bold leadership, a steady hand. We're voting Carter, understand. Roydell, number 2. Integrity, commitment shining through. No flip-floppers, no puppets here. It's Roydell Carter, loud and clear. Family man, so strong, so true. Dedicated, bold, he's fighting for you. Knowledge flows in everything he plans. Experience speaks in this man's hands. We don't need no JMS, oh no. We need a leader who'll help us grow. No Muppets, no strings to tie. It's bold decisions, reaching high. Roydell, number 2. Integrity, commitment shining through. No flip-floppers, no puppets here. It's Roydell Carter, loud and clear. Bold initiatives, a bright new start. He's got the vision, he's got the heart. Dedicated leader, the kind we need. Follow his path and succeed. Roydell, number 2. Integrity, commitment shining through. No flip-floppers, no puppets here. It's Roydell Carter, loud and clear.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Cayman's cruise industry can thrive without a peer. Instead of handing cruise lines more power, we should focus on better visitor experiences, fairer deals for local businesses, and smarter tourism investments. Many destinations are standing up for their local economies. So can we. Let's strengthen our cruise industry without giving up control. Vote no on April 30th.
Let's invest in what works. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and we're on the last leg of the show this afternoon with Miss Delmira Bodden, who's seeking to represent the constituency, the district of East End in our upcoming general election slated for tomorrow. Also in the studio with us, the leader of the People's Progressive Movement, the Honorable Joey Hew. Folks, I'm going to throw the mic over to you so that you can get your final messages out there to.
Thank you, OC. I just want to touch on one last thing that our opponents have been putting out there. This thing of PPM-led government, the last government being a PPM-led government, and everything that happened bad in the last 4 years were PPM. And I assume that it is deliberate in what they're saying because these are supposedly fairly intelligent people. But there were 13 persons in the government after the election, 6 opposition from the PPM. Since then, there has been, after nomination day, the only person that did not seek to retain his seat was Mr. Bernie Bush. So that leaves 12 persons that were not a member of the PPM, right? They were all members of PAC. The PPM had 3 people retire, step aside, and we got new candidates, right? So out of all of the members out there, the PAC government still has 12 persons that are out there running either as independents or as members of other parties.
Okay.
The TCCP has 5 of those. The PPM has 3, and the rest are independents. So I don't know how the TCCP or the Cayman Islands National Party can say that the PPM was the last government when we only have 3 out of the 12 of them that made up the PAC government. The TCCP has 5 of them. Okay? Now what we believe is happening as well is not only does the TCCP have 5 of them, but we believe that they're also talking to some of the others who are running independent out of that PAC government. So if we are not careful as a country, we could see the very same core of the PAC government re-elected, just in a different color and in a different name. Because the majority of the members of the PAC government are still out there. Some in a party and the rest as independents. Only 3 of the 12 of them that remain are with the PPM. Now, I can't make it any clearer than that. It's a matter of mathematics. Yeah. Even somebody in primary school, much less a CPA, can figure that out, right? So with that, OC, I just want to say that I implore everyone tonight to consider, when you go to the polls tomorrow, be sure you know who you are voting for. Be sure that you are not promised a Mercedes and you receive a Honda Fit. Be sure that the person that says...
Or a Honda Unfit.
Or a Honda Unfit. Be sure that the person that you believe is going to be the leader of the group that you're voting for is actually going to be that leader. I can promise the people that the People's Progressive Movement, we have 13 candidates in this election. We hope all 13 will be victorious. But we can guarantee you that if you elect a majority government of the PPM party, I will be the leader, Kenneth Bryan will be the deputy leader, and there will be no horse trading, there will be no surprises. That is the facts. Will we take other worthy individuals to strengthen our numbers? Certainly. But our intentions, and we are asking the people of the Cayman Islands to vote a majority of the PPM party so that we can form a government without the horse trading and without the surprises and disappointments of 2021. For the people of Georgetown North, OC, I want to say to them, thank you for giving me the opportunity to represent them once again. I have represented them and will continue to represent them with pride, with dignity, and with a sense of unity. And I will promise them that I will continue to be a representative that they can be proud of. A representative that they can call on, that will be accessible in our community, and a representative that when I represent them in Parliament or internationally, they can be proud of me. I will promise them that, and I will always, always ensure that I never let them down. And so with those few words, I will hand it over to Delmira to close, but I look forward to representing our people in the next 4 years as the head of a PPM government, and we promise you that our first and foremost focus will be on you, the people, and the needs of our people.
And a reminder of your final event?
Final event tonight. Compass Green, 7 p.m. Come on out, and we're just going to have a fantastic time. There will be all positive, everything will be positive, and we will be there as we are, like a family, and we promise an energetic and entertaining evening.
Okay, Ms. Delmira.
I too want to make a plea with the people of East End to make the right choice tomorrow when you go to the polls. We have seen how long the district of East End was neglected, and on the eve of an election, to be precise, within 4 years, you got 5 homes started. In 4 years, you are just starting to see one stretch of road paved. In 4 years, we have been suffering. There is so much neglect. There are things that should have been done that was easy to do, that didn't cost millions. It just took somebody with leadership to put their hands to the wheel and get the job done. We have seen the George Dixon Park just starting to get some enhancements. East End Primary School, very little to no enhancements at all. Fiddler's Way has been flooding forever, and nobody has gone in there to fix it with the team from NRA who has the expertise to fix it. It just takes for somebody to get the job done. We need swimming holes in our district, and that has not happened in the last 30 years. We have public beaches but nowhere to swim. That can be done responsibly. We also need a business plan to support the businesses, to ensure sustainability, to ensure income, employment, development. They are the plans that we are working on for the district of East End. Trade schools, housing, home repairs has started in the district of East End, but they're worse off than when they began the home repairs because of poor workmanship, poor management. I say to the people of East End, do not follow the party with the soca music. Follow the party with the solutions, PPM. Know the people that will work for you, not somebody that showed up on the eve of an election with a questionnaire to ask you what the issues are. We know what the issues are. We have provided you with a manifesto with the solutions. In every 4 years in a country, the issues are different, and they require experience, and they require solutions. The PPM government has provided you with that. I have had several meetings in my districts. I have visited several homes. I sat and I listened. And my heart is in the district of East End. We have many issues that needs to be solved, and it can only be solved with real representation, not representation on the eve of an election. Go to the polls and vote number 1, Delmira Bodden, East End, and I guarantee you the job will be done. My last meeting before the election is tonight at Melody Dixon's yard at 7:30. I invite everybody to come out, but I also ask for peace in our community. We are going to have about 4 or 5 meetings happening at the same time in East End. Please come out, listen, let us be respectful to each other, and excuse the bad behavior of one particular candidate and their committee that has been happening over months in our district. I must say that there's been a lot of slandering, a lot of misinformation to sway people from going in the right direction. Use your own experience and not a story being told to distract you from making the right choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to both of you as well. Wish you both and your party, the best of luck. To the people of the Cayman Islands, I want to say to you, this is the time. Some of you already had the opportunity to have your say, to cast your vote early, either by post or by mobile voting as well. And many of you will do so tomorrow. We say to you, do so peacefully. Follow the instructions of the elections office staff in terms of what you're required to do. And we all expect, we've seen it in the past, and we expect no less tomorrow and after than peaceful elections and a peaceful transfer of power. Yes, there may be some horse trading that may be necessary, to form a government at the end of the day, but let it be peaceful. We have a reputation here in the Cayman Islands that we have to observe and we have to defend, and let's do that as well. And I need not remind you that your radio station, Radio Cayman, the People's Radio Station, will be carrying everything in relation to the elections tomorrow. We will be your elections radio station. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we will have a round table here. I will be a part of that. Ms. Catherine Miller will be a part of that. Mr. Loxley Banks will be a part of that. Dr. Steve McField will be a part of that. Ms. Theresa Pitcairn will be a part of that as well. And we will have all of our reporters dispersed throughout the islands, throughout the day, and at night during the count as well. With that, I will say please stay safe. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-06